Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I want to read in June. Okay, so I've got 6 books to talk about. Some of them I've already started reading and just want to finish this month, and others are ones I want to start this month. And so we might as well get started, because 6 is quite a big amount and I talk too much about books. Like, I talk for way too long in each book. Like, that's why my videos always go into like 10-20 minutes. So in this video I'm gonna try and cut the talking time down, but keeping like the interesting bits in. Well, I find them interesting. And hopefully I'll end up with a shorter video this time. I've already used up 1 minute of footage, so we're already on a downward spiral, but let's get to it! June TBR! Okay, so starting with the books that I've already read. Already started reading. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I've already talked about on this channel, because I think I talked about it in my book haul and I was quite over the top about it. But this is Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. And this is considered the feminist manifesto, basically. This is like the be-all end-all book of feminism. So this is 2 essays compiled into one book about feminism, and so she was asked to talk about women in fiction, and she sort of thought about it and she was like, well, there's like all these different questions that you could be talking about. Like, are you talking about women writing fiction and women in fiction? Are you talking about like the characters? What are you talking about? Most of it focuses on why there are less female classical authors. Like, great authors who are female aren't as common. And she talks about that's because women live in poverty. Even if they live in these big rich houses, they don't have any freedom because they don't own anything. They literally belong to their husbands, which is why they can't go out and get a degree. In the bit that I've read, she was talking about how she couldn't walk on the grass because she wasn't a member of the university. She couldn't go into the library without a note from her husband saying that she could, or without a man escorting her. So women were very restricted in terms of education. And the only reason Virginia Woolf was educated was because she was reading out of her father's study, I believe. So that's why she was able to get to this level, but she wasn't the exception, not the rule. Basically it's about poverty and being a woman and books and writing if you're a woman. So, interesting read, and I know if you're studying any sort of gender studies or anything, this is one of like the main books that you'd read. Okay, second book I actually read on the flight to Christchurch. I already own a copy of this, but I didn't bring any books for me to read on the plane. And so I ended up going to the bookstore and buying a second copy, but that's okay because it was only $14. So the next book is Breakfast at Tiffany's, the Audrey Hepburn classic. Obviously I'm a big fan of the movie, which is why I'm reading this book. I wouldn't say it's anything better than the movie. Like, the movie is one of those like perfect movies. You know, you don't need to read the book if you've watched the movie, I don't think. But it's still entertaining, and like, it's a little bit of a different perspective on Holly Golightly. Watch the movie if you're interested. If you really like the movie, read the book. I really like the movie, so reading the book is worthwhile to me, but to other people I don't know whether it would be. So I'm currently only 58 pages through, and it's quite short. It's only 157 pages, so I'm already like a third of the way through this. But yeah, Breakfast at Tiffany's, good book. Read it if you want to, not if you don't want to. Watch the movie, I don't know, up to you, do what you want. And then this is the final one that I've already started reading. This is Flowers for Algernon. We read this in class in year 10. We read like a very shortened version of it. It was only like a 20-page version of it. I sort of forgot about this book until PewDiePie, of all people, is running his book club at the moment, and he talked about this, and I was like, ooh, I remember that, and I can remember being quite shook by it. And then I got it out of the library. This is a library copy. Yeah, the rest of my books are library copies, by the way. I've been audiobooking it so far, so I'm not entirely sure how far through I am. I'm like an hour or two into the audiobook, and it's a 9-hour audiobook. So I'm about a 9th through this book. But it's pretty much the same as I remember from the shortened version I read. So I don't know if it's going to change particularly that much from the story that I already know. I think I'm already loving it, basically, and I've only read, like, listened to a little bit of it. And yeah, Flowers for Algernon. Now this is a book that was in my previous video of the classics that I want to read, and it is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I found this amazing version at the library. I looked it up on Book Depository and they aren't selling it, but it's got these really like beautiful like illustrations in it, and it's got some weird photography stuff in it, and I'm pretty sure it's unabridged, so yeah. It's really heavy though. I don't know, but I want to read that. I talked about it in my other video, so. Then the next book I picked up when I was in the library, well, like the Central Library, which is like the massive library, and it's We Are Okay. This went around BookTube quite a bit, and everyone was quite like affected by it, and I know everyone was saying that it's a very good cry-worthy novel, and it's about anxiety, and so I was like, yeet, relate. So I picked it up. I think I've actually read a bit of it. I read a bit of it in the library, I think. Yeah. I don't really know what it's about. I just know it's about a girl. I'm 12 pages in. I made such a big effort. We'll see how this one goes. I don't know how it's going to go. But hopefully it goes well, because I'm really like, I've got a lot of expectation on this book, and if it doesn't hold up, I'm going to like cry in a hole. And then the final book, the final one, is the one that everyone was waiting for, and then everyone was highly disappointed in, and it was extremely controversial. Zeineth by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This is another library copy because I didn't want to buy it if it wasn't good, to be honest. I've basically heard this book is shit, but it's by Sasha Ellsberg, and she's like my idol, so I have to read it. I hope it's good. I might DNF it if it's not, but I've got hope. I'm gonna give her a chance, because I've heard a lot of opinions that it was bad, and so I was like, oh, I'll just not read it, like whatever. But then I was like, no, form your own opinions, Estelle. Read the book. So I'm gonna read this, see how it goes. Hopefully it goes good. Yeah. So that's all I need to say, because that's my June TBR done. Is it June or July? I think it's June. It's June, good. So, yeet. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Go check out some other videos. Helen's videos are really good. Go look at her videos. Yeet. Go. Shoo. Swag.